Hello, everybody. It's Mr. Martin again. Going to walk you through phase number 2 of our Pong game design here on Scratch. Last time on version number 1, we got all of our sprites in and got the ball to start bouncing. Today, we are going to work on getting our paddles into the correct position, learning how to control them, and getting the ball to bounce off the paddles. So I've already gone ahead and started and then was interrupted by the announcements. So we're just going to keep what I've already did on the previous video. I've gone ahead and clicked on left paddle and I dragged in 2 blocks. I dragged in when the flag is clicked and go to XY. And I changed XY to -200 and 0. So what I'm looking to do here is that anytime the flag is clicked, the paddle will lock into this position. Because maybe you accidentally dragged it over there. Now you can just, when the flag is clicked, there it goes. So we're good, set, ready to go. Now we need to control the paddle so it moves up and down. Now, assuming you have access to a keyboard, you're going to drag in the when blank key is pressed. We're going to use the up arrow. And then when the up arrow is pressed, we are going to go back to motion. We are going to change its Y coordinate. Remember, when you look at, just like if you graph on graph paper in math, the Y coordinates are the ones that run up and down. We're going to change it by 10. Then we're going to go ahead and do the exact opposite. You're going to bring in, this time change it to down arrow, and this time we want it to move down. So to get it to move down, you have to tell it to change its Y by a negative number. 10 is what I'll start with. You can always play around with different settings and see what you like. Now if I press, you can see it goes up and it goes down. Exactly what we want it to do. Now if you were playing a 2-person game here, and you had 2 people on the same keyboard, I would actually change this to, instead of the up arrow, change it to W. My glasses on, there it is. And then change the down arrow to S. That way the player on the left can be on the left side of the computer and use the W and S keys as up and down. And it still works. So now we need to do the exact same thing, but with the right paddle. So we could click on right paddle and we can drag in the exact same blocks we just did. We can also, if it still allows us to, just drag it in like I did right there on the screen. So click on left paddle, take this block we've already created, and drag and drop it to the sprite that says right paddle. And we just saved ourselves a whole bunch of time. We'll have to change a couple things on it. One, we want the X coordinate of this paddle to be a positive 200, so it's on the right. We want to change these keys to the up arrow and the down arrow. So now I can move with the up arrow and down arrow, that one. I can also move with the W and S, these 2 right here. So we now have moving paddles. Now we need to go ahead and get that ball to bounce off of the paddles. Otherwise, paddles are not really any good if the ball is just going to go through it. So we're going to click on the ball sprite again. This is the code we did last week to get it to start bouncing. You can see we click the flag, the ball bounces. Right now, it just goes through the paddles. We need to change it so it actually will bounce. So here's what we need to do. We need to go into our control blocks here. And we are going to use what is called an if-then block. And we are going to put that inside the forever loop because we want it to go on forever and ever. We're going to go into our sensing. If it is touching left paddle, we want it to turn directions. So we're going to go up to motion. We're going to turn 180 degrees, meaning it'll go the exact opposite of the direction it was going. So let's try it with left paddle. See if we can get the ball to bounce off of it. My game, if I was good enough at playing this. Oh, see, it's bouncing. I got a weird glitchy stop there. I trapped it in the corner. Look at that, bounced right off. You can also play with these motion settings and have it not just go 180. You can make it kind of go more random direction, but for now, this is a good one. But right now, you can see it's still going through the right paddle. So we have to do the same thing we just did, this time for right paddle. So I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to get another control block. It's a second if then. Beneath that, but still inside the forever loop. Go back to sensing, touching block, and this time change it to touching right pedal. And go to motion and change, turn 180 degrees. So now it should also work on the right pedal. Oh, look at that. Got bouncing, awesome Pong game. Looking awesome. Fantastic. That is where we will go for today. Next time in our Pong game session, which will be on Thursday and Friday, we are going to work on updating players, adding scores and updating the score, and also maybe working on getting the ball to bounce a little more randomly to make the game a little more challenging. Remember, when you are done, you're going to go up here. This time I want you to change the name of your game. Instead of Pong version 1, call it Pong version 2. Click share. It's probably already shared from last time. Click on See Project Page and add to Studio. And you'll see a Pong Game V2, and that's what you're going to add it to. Remember, I do not see your video, or I'm sorry, I do not see your game unless you share it to the studio. Clicking share does nothing. You have to add it to the studio so I can see it. This is due Tuesday at the end of the day. Thursday, we'll move on to the next step. So be sure to do that. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, everybody.